What is up, Watch fam? I am Anna from Theo and Harris.
And I am Christian from Theo and Harris.
And today we're talking about big Hollywood watch news.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper, American Sniper, the guy from the one that just came out. What was it called?
Star is Born.
Star is Born.
He directed it.
And IWC, International Watch Company. Very cool. Let's do it.
Before we get in, a quick wristwatch check. I am wearing a Universal Genève Pole Router, one of my favorite watch models ever.
Yep.
This is a beautiful steel model with, it's like a cream kind of carameling
Almost
honey
like
case.
parchment paper kind of.
Style?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful, but it's in great condition. The case is awesome.
Yep, I'm wearing a Rolex Reference 1803 with an immaculate white tritium Buckley dial. Every tritium plot is actually intact. This is a freaking gorgeous watch.
Yeah, it's great
Cage
condition.
is wild. If I were to own a date right now, I would very seriously be considering a Buckley dial. I mean, it's just probably one of the definitely one of the rarest, but I think one of the most beautiful. You know, rarity and beauty don't always align.
Yeah.
But here they do.
Okay, I didn't watch the Oscars, and I know that you didn't either.
No.
But obviously, you know, it's a hub for fashion. What are people wearing? And there were a lot of really cool watches. There was Tank Americans worn. There were Skeleton Cartiers worn. There were JLC Reversos worn. We love those. But the one that's getting the most attention is Bradley Cooper's watch.
Yeah, well, people was like, "Oh, are you watching the Oscars tonight?" And my initial reaction was, "No, God, no," because it's drivel. But then I said, "Oh, wait, but there are going to be cool watches. I probably should make a video on it. I should do a thing." But then I'm like, I have to sit through 3 or 4 hours of nonsense to get a couple of watches. Let me just wait till the news breaks and then talk about the news. So that's what I did. So what did Bradley Cooper wear? IWC was a big brand that was present at the Oscars. I think IWC and JLC were like maybe some of the two most present brands. But what IWC did he wear? It was significant, right?
Bradley Cooper wore a Big Pilot with a date and a power reserve, and it's a model that already exists, but it's only available in steel. It's part of the Little Prince line.
Le Petit Ponce.
Le Petit Ponce.
Le Petit.
Le Petit Ponce. It's part of that line, but it's not available in the metal that his was in, which was called red gold.
No, you always roll your eyes at that. There's no such thing as rose gold. You know that, right? There's yellow gold. And they have to mix alloys to make it rose. So every mixture gets a different name. So, you know, Rolex has this Everrose. Who has rose? Who has pink gold? Who has red gold? They are all different.
Fine, I'll stop rolling that.
Facts from TNA. It brings up this idea of celebrities and watches. How much does a celebrity's ownership actually add to a watch's value?
Yeah.
And Bradley Cooper only owned it for a night. You know, he only wore it for one big event. On the other hand, you have Karl Lagerfeld's Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, which is all black. Not only one-off, but truly more unique and more distinct than the IWC. If you saw the IWC, you would just say, "Oh, that's a red gold IWC." I wouldn't immediately say, "Oh, that's the one-off." You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas with Karl Lagerfeld's, AP, you would say, "Holy." That is very possibly Karl Lagerfeld's AP. Now, I don't know if the Lagerfeld family has any intentions of selling the AP, but that's a really, really interesting story. If you don't know what we're talking about, we made a video on it last week. The link is in the description. I definitely think you should watch it because I think that over the course of the next couple of years, it's going to resurface. I don't know if the family's going to sell it, but those things, you know, these items of value tend to make their way to the market eventually. So school yourself and watch the video. Okay, back into Cooper.
Yeah, so the differences between his model that he wore at the Oscars and the official line that you can get retail are pretty minimal. So it's the case metal and it's the engraving. So on the back of all the Le Petit Ponce line models, there's a Little Prince engraving on the back. His is slightly different, and there are words that are engraved around that central Little Prince on the back.
Okay.
It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. Grammatically correct? I don't think so.
Delegate code visfak. Kind of like the same thing.
Translate.
That is that was St. Augustine of Hippo. It was love and what you will do. I'm a Catholic Studies major in college, so I know a lot about Augustine.
Hit me
Hippo. Hit me up, girls. And all my seminarians out there.
So the actual buzz around this watch is not only because he wore it and was nominated for, I think, 3 nominations for his acting and directing in A Star is Born, he also performed live singing with it.
With this watch.
At the Oscars, this watch on his wrist, and then I think immediately it went from his wrist to Sotheby's to be auctioned off. It's going to a charity, good cause, and it basically went immediately from I'm wearing this at the Oscars to Sotheby's.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of Only Watch. You know, it just reminds me of the same
Exactly.
principle. You know, the Only Watch auction in Switzerland every year. You know, brands make one-off unique pieces like IWC did here, and they auction them off for charity for enormous numbers. Why do these watches demand such enormous numbers over, you know, regular watches that would have sold at a regular auction or the same watches at a regular auction? Because it is charity. So people aren't buying the, you know, the one-off, you know, what a JLC for 200 grand. They're making a $200,000 charitable donation and they're getting a free watch. It's a very different way of looking at it. So this watch, they don't make it, so I can't tell you what the retail is. But in steel, the retail is around $13,000. So, I mean, which seems like a lot. But logically, if the steel is $13,000, maybe the red gold would be, I don't know, 28. You know, in the $23,000 to $29,000 category. But this watch could very easily fetch over $100. It could fetch $200. You know, it comes down to, do I care about Bradley Cooper? Do I care about IWC?
Right.
But all those things kind of get watered down a little bit once it is for charity. Because people just say, oh, I like the cause. Oh, that's cool. Oh, and I get a free party gift too when I make the $200,000 donation.
Right.
Sure, I'll get a free party gift that Bradley Cooper wore at the Oscars.
Right.
So that's really it. I mean, I think that they're interesting arrangements that they have with the auctions. And if it goes to charity, I hope that someone pays a fortune for it. That's it. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Please, Anna, ask them, they like you more. Ask them to give us a thumbs up.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And do not forget that we host giveaways every single month. We give away a watch, and you can sign up for that by subscribing to the channel and clicking the link in the description and putting your info in.
Yep, that's it. Adios, guys.